Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of The Dark Monk, A Hangman's Daughter Tale by Oliver Pötzsch, translated by Lee Shadane, performed by Grover Gardner.
For my grandmother, the matriarch of our family, and for my mother, who still tells the best stories. We delight in marvelous things. One proof of that is that everyone embellishes somewhat when telling a story in the assumption he is pleasing his listener. Aristotle, Poetics, Book 24. Prologue. Altenstadt, near Schongau, on the night of January 18th, 1660 A.D. When the parish priest Andreas Kopmeier pressed the last stone into place and sealed the opening with lime and mortar, he had just 4 hours to live. With the back of his large hand, he wiped the sweat from his brow and leaned back against the cool, damp wall behind him. Then he looked nervously up the narrow, winding staircase. Was something moving up there? Again he heard the floorboards creaking as if someone were moving stealthily across the floor above him in the church. But it could have just been his imagination. Wood warps, and the St. Lawrence Church was old and crumbling. It was not for nothing that workmen had been there for the last few weeks repairing the building so that it wouldn't someday come crashing down during Mass. A January storm was whistling around the weathered walls and shaking the wooden shutters. But it wasn't just due to the cold down here in the crypt that the priest was trembling. Pulling his worn cassock tightly around him, he scrutinized the bricked-up wall once more, and then started the climb back up the stairway to the church. His steps echoed on the worn, frost-covered stairs. Suddenly, the howling of the storm got louder so that he could no longer hear the soft creaking in the balcony above him. He must have been mistaken. Who would still be here in the church at this hour, for heaven's sake? It was way past midnight. His housekeeper Magda had gone to bed hours ago in the little rectory next door, and the old sexton would not return until it was time to ring the bells at 6 in the morning. Pastor Andreas Kopmeier climbed the final steps out of the crypt. His broad figure completely filled the opening in the church floor. He was more than 6 feet tall, a bear of a man who, with his long, broad beard and bushy black eyebrows, looked like the personification of an Old Testament god. When Kopmeier stood before the altar in his black robe and delivered his homilies in a deep, gruff voice, his appearance alone caused his
Sample complete. Ready to continue?